What's up, y'all? I'm back. This will be like I mentioned yesterday. I'm gonna be, even though I was gonna do this yesterday, it just got too late and I was tired. So we're gonna be doing my. I'm gonna call this video my Scream Five and what I would have done. It's a fixing slash pitch video, so I'm gonna be doing this right now, and then later I'm gonna be reviewing Death Proof. So be two videos today. But yeah, Scream 5 I had all sorts of problems with. I did my whole review on Sunday. So I feel like we need to do, because I did the same with Mortal Kombat when it came out, because this movie could have been really good. I think, but then they decided to go the direction they did with that awful reveal, barely using Sydney and all the big original names. Mine is Dew. I think Dewey's like the only one who maybe got some time, but everyone else was just, it was Force Awakens. So what I feel like I've come up with is I'm doing two versions. I'm gonna be doing one with Sydney because I think you could bring her back, but if you're gonna bring her back, you gotta do it all the way and actually have her have a role. Bringing her back just to have one call scene and then just be in the final act was, that's it. Like, nah, you gotta grow with her character if you're, because that's the thing with Sid. With for four for four films up for four films up until this point, you see her growth, you see her development, and in this, it's just she's just basically a cameo. She's a glorified cameo, to be honest. So I'm gonna do one version with her, and then because even in my video, I also said you could easily have just gone a new direction with new characters, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. You just take the legacy characters out of it, and you go a new direction with these new characters. You can have Sam or Tara be, or I would even maybe have them both be the co-new lead. You know, don't have Sammy Billy's daughter. That doesn't make any fucking sense. So here we go. Like I said, later I will be reviewing Death Proof. I'm probably gonna watch Death Proof right after this video. So, but yeah, let's go. Cheers. Shit. Sorry about that. Just noticed something. But anyway. But here we go. So, with the Sydney version, you need a strong, actually for both, honestly. As much as I like the opening in this new one, I do think it needed to be longer a bit because that opening with Casey from the first one is like almost 20 minutes almost. It's like 15, 16 minutes. It goes for a bit. And I feel like this one, even in 4, I have a problem. I feel like a lot of the openings in the later ones, minus 2, I like those movies, but the openings I feel like are too short. One thing, like I like the Casey one because you actually, even with the 15 20 minutes you were with her, you see development. And I feel like you only had, the other ones were like maybe 10 minutes max. I mean, I think Scream Two's opening was kind of long too, but I think you needed an opening like that. So what I'm thinking is, if you're gonna kill one of the original characters, you gotta do it in the opening. That's what should have happened. Maybe you do have Gale and Dewey. In my opinion, I think you have Gale die. I think it's just more emotional. Because I'm gonna be honest, as much as I like Courtney Cox, she, I do think Gale had her time. I just don't really know what more you can do with Gale as a character besides what she runs around and does reporting again. Like her and Dewey run around. Don't get me wrong, I like the scenes between the two, but I think for emotional impact, maybe you do have them still be married and Dewey's like still a cop. In my version, I think Dewey should still be a sheriff. It just makes sense. So maybe he's out working, Gale's home alone doing some research. She gets a call, and you have like this 15, 20 minute discuss, like Gale maybe trying to figure out who the killer is, like going everywhere and looking around that like her house and trying to find this motherfucker, and she ends up getting killed. And I think you needed a strong opening like that, and I think that's like the perfect way to do it. And then the new one, you just have like a new character get killed, but in the same way like Casey did. Maybe in that one you have like girls having like a slumber party or some shit, and then like something happens, one of them gets taken, and you have like a similar scene to Scream One where they got to guess and something like that. And another thing with the Sydney, with the original, I guess I'll call this one like the one with the original cast. The next scene, we show Sydney living her life. She's married. Maybe you do have her married to Kincaid. I'm not necessarily against that idea because that was always kind of theorized after three that she was gonna, for four anyway, even though it didn't happen at four, that she was gonna end up with Kincaid. So I'm fine with that. But you actually got to get Patrick Dempsey back. You need to show her life. I think that was one of the things in this new one. They just throw away lines. Oh, Sydney has kids and she's married, but we're not gonna actually go into that shit because that would be interesting. What has her life been since Scream Four? She has kids. Maybe they're like, because Scream Four came out 10 years ago. Maybe the kids can be like 10 years, about 10 or 11, because maybe she had the kids like right after Scream Four. Or maybe make them a bit younger, like maybe 9 or 8 or something, and you maybe there's a scene like there's a dinner scene. She notices her phone rings, and it's maybe from Gale. She thinks it's Gale calling her, but then it's the killer. You needed a scene like that. Like imagine like that would be a cool scene because you have Sid getting that shock because she thinks her life's back to normal now. Like she's having kids, she's with her husband, but then Ghostface, you also have him mention that he knows that she has kids and a husband. I think you needed something like that, and that can be like the catalyst that brings her back. And then, oh, I should have mentioned with Gale's death, you have Dewey walk in. That's what you like. You could have had like a. I know it's a weird movie to compare this to, but Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, the one genuinely good scene in that movie is when her Annie's dad finds her body. I think you could have something like that when Dewey finds Gale's body. It could be really fucking good, and you can have them almost be like a wreck the whole movie. And then yeah, in both you have new characters introduced, and maybe with the new characters one, I'll keep some of the new characters because one thing about five is they introduce these characters, but they're so half baked. Amber's not gonna be the killer in my version. She's just some. Maybe she's like the goth, not goth, but like the. She could also be like the Randy type character, her and Mindy. And you need because this one with the new characters is just basically another Scream, but with a new generation. You have Sam and Tara be the new lead. I think that's what should have happened. If you're gonna go with new characters, that's what they should have done. But back to the OG one. I think the kills need to be more elaborate. You need to have some good call scenes. Another thing that needs to be there is some fucking chases. Because my god, the lack of chases in five makes it such a just not just for a Scream movie, for a slasher movie. What makes slasher movies in general is chases, and this film just didn't have it. So I think you need in both versions. You need to have in both of my versions anyway. I'm gonna definitely add some strong chases. Um, maybe and I was one who usually advocated against this, but I think for the OG version of my film it would almost make sense to do this. You'd have to make Stu the killer, but you would have to give him some good explanation. I would give him some good explanation to why he's back. Because even as some because I've advocated to be, I was honestly one of the people who's against bringing Stu back, but for this version of my script it makes the most sense for him to be the killer. It would because it would show how crazy he was that maybe he found out where Sid lived, and she had kids. And I actually have Stu be the only killer. I like the idea of a one killer because we've done two killers over and over again besides three. So I like it. Maybe him. It just be him, and maybe you can have if he does have an accomplice, I'll go with like some crazy fanboy. So with the other one, you just got to give these new teenage characters like I would give them some growth. Because that's the thing that 5 really lacked, is at least 4, you had development with some of the new kind of generation characters. You didn't get that with this new one. Because they wanted to mix it up. So I felt like, I'm just going to split it. I'm going to do one with the OG cast, but one a version of 5 with new. Because to be honest, you can easily just do new characters. You set it within the same universe. 1 through 4 still happen, but Sydney and Gale and Dewey are just living their lives now. And now this is the new generation. And in the reveal for that, I would maybe just go for. I mean, I know Crazy Fanboy's been done, but just do that, but I would do it better. I wouldn't do it about toxic fandom. I would just have it be a crazy fucking guy who's like, you know what? I really like these movies, and I just wanted another one, so I caused a killing spree. And it would just make him look psycho. There's a way to do that and not be like. I wouldn't mention anything about toxic fandom. It would just be a crazy fanboy. That's kind of what happened. There are crazy fanboys out there, and I think that's what they should have went if you're gonna do that. So there's so many ideas. These are just 2 of mine for what I would have done with Scream 5, because it's like there's so many directions they could have gone and not, but they went that direction, and that's why 5 is gonna always be, in my opinion, just gonna be a black guy. So I felt like I needed to come up with something better, because Scream 5, you can make a good Scream 5 with the OG cast and without. So I just wanted to talk about that. I'll definitely go more into it in another video. I don't want to make this video too long, but yeah, Scream 5 deserved better. So, and for me, like, if you're gonna bring back like the OG cast, you make use of them. Having Gale die in the beginning, I think, works for Dewey, and then that would be a reason to bring Sid back in a much more natural way, and you have her actually be involved in the film. And throughout the film, because one of my favorite, I've always said this, my favorite moments in a lot of the Scream movies is the calls between Sydney and the killer. There's like some of my favorite fucking moments. Like one of my favorite scenes in 2 is when Ghostface calls her the first time. It's like such a good, like, oh, it's you. It's like Nightmare 3 when Freddy sees Nancy for the first time. It's like the same kind of thing. So I didn't get that from 5. So I feel like if you're gonna bring her back, you needed moments like that. So, but yeah. So that's my pitch for Scream 5. Later, like I said, I will be reviewing Death Roof. I'm gonna probably be watching it now. It's been a minute since I've watched that movie. I remember Kurt Russell being a badass. That's all I kind of remember, because I only watched it the one time. So, but yeah, I'll be talking about that a little later. Yeah. Other than that. My God. Fuck Warner Brothers. Fuck Disney. Fuck La Bitch James. Fuck Kevin Smith. Fuck Seth Rogen. Fuck Joy Reid. Fuck Joe Biden and his trash administration. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.